meant to be cold for the next couple of nights, but it's meant to be much warmer during the day, so there's a good chance of getting a bite. Bring the rods in, refresh the hook baits, get them back out again, give it a good couple of hours. If nothing happens, I'll decide what I'm going to do. I've moved. I didn't want to move, to be honest. I wanted to spend the next 2 nights in that swim. Someone decided to set up on the opposite side of me, decided to come onto the harder lake. Nobody's on here at the moment. It'd just be nice to catch one more, as this is my last session here. Well, I'm back at Yateley. It's been a couple of weeks. Definitely things have improved. It's much warmer, much more sunnier. It looks really good. Last time was a bit miserable, and it was pretty cold really. It's meant to be cold for the next couple of nights, but it's meant to be much warmer during the day, so there's a good chance of getting a bite when the water's warmer, and the carp are definitely going to be more on the feed on this session. Well, I'm in the same swim as I was last time. I've decided just to stick with the same thing really. Same swim, same area, and pretty much I'm just going to hope that I can get more than one, as I did last time I had one. But this time, instead of doing 2 nights, I've got 3 nights ahead of me, so I've got a lot more longer, and I could make changes if need be. But for now, I am looking forward to this session, and hopefully I'll get something. Also, I've decided to do the same thing as in where I'm going to cast, is I'm going to pretty much pop all 3 8 wraps out towards where the pads are normally are on the far side. You know, you never know, there might be a few carp still hiding in there, still getting ready to warm themselves up maybe. So I'm going to get going and get those rods out, and hopefully I'll get a carp in the next 3 nights. I've decided to do the same as I did last time. I've got all 3 on helicopter setups on Ronnie rig. 2 of my rods are on the Ocean Fruit Pink pop-up. It's 15mm. Last time I fished the other one with a white chocolate orange pop-up, but this time I've decided to go for an Ocean Fruit yellow 15mm pop-up. They love yellow in here, so I might as well try it for at least a night. I'll see what happens on it really. I might play around with things, I may not. Pink worked last time, so I'm putting all my faith in the pinks. I'm putting the same bait over the top as I did last time. That is a combination of 15mm red lobster boilies and some all nut boilies as well. I'm putting them in water like I did last time. I'm also adding a bit of the all nut glug into there. Also on top of that, I've been given some experimental thicker sort of food liquid, which is also all nut, and I'm going to add a bit of that in just to cloud up the water in that I'm soaking them in. And I thought also they might soak that extra in bits and maybe a bit more different anyway than I've been doing recently, and I thought I'd try it out on this session, as it's a still experimental stage, so I want to see what goes on and see what happens and see what it does really. It'd be interesting to see anyway. I reckon I've put about 100 baits out for now. I've decided to put more than I did last time, because last time I was here it was pretty cold and miserable and I didn't really put that many out. I was just being very careful. But this time I put a bit more in. It's a lot more warmer, and it's been a lot more warmer recently as well, so the water's definitely going to be higher than it was last time. I think it was only probably about 7 or 8 degrees last time. The water's definitely around about 10, so there's a good chance of them feeding, and I wanted to put a little bit more bait out, because there could be a chance of getting at least 1 or 2 takes in my session, so I want to put out some bait to start with. I've had a few problems with ducks, but they've seemed to have gone. I may put some bait in later. They did take a few, so I might do. But for now, I'm happy sitting there and waiting for something to happen, and hopefully it happens soon. Maybe by tomorrow morning it might happen. Doesn't always work first time when you're on here. It's only a small lake. You kind of spook them a little bit when you first turn up, but once your rig's in for a little while, they start to come onto your bait, and hopefully then you get a few. So maybe something will happen by the morning, you never know. Well, nothing happened in the evening, didn't see any carp show or anything, nothing happened overnight, and nothing's happened this morning, so that's pretty much it for me. Been a bit quiet, really. I haven't really seen anything at all. I haven't seen a single carp. I did see something yesterday, but weren't sure if it was a carp or not. It might have been a roach, or I'm not entirely sure. It might have been a bream or a tench or something. It may not have been a carp, so that's pretty much it really for the old seeing. There could have been a chance of me getting one from this lake. Maybe in another night, maybe there might be a chance of getting one. But I'm having a few issues on the lake, and I might end up moving to another lake and trying there. I mean, I might go onto the harder lake, even though it's got much more lower stock and harder to catch carp, but at least I'll have a bit more water to myself. I'm just having a bit of trouble on this lake with other people really, so I may move or I may not, depends on what I feel like really. So I'm just going to bring the rods in, refresh the hook baits, get them back out again, give it a good couple of hours. If nothing happens, I'll decide what I'm going to do, if I'm going to stay or move. Well, I've moved. I didn't want to move, to be honest. I wanted to spend the next 2 nights in that swim. I was happy enough where I was. It looked really good. Someone decided to set up on the opposite side of me. Kind of decided that I was fishing too far out, even though I wasn't. I was there already. He just turned up. He decided to have a go at me, and basically I didn't want to start an argument over it, so I decided just to leave. I've decided to come onto the harder lake. Nobody's on here at the moment. The sun is coming down lovely. It's really sunny today, and usually when it's sunny on this lake they all come down to this end. It's a big tree line and they love it in there. Absolutely love it. I've just gone and looked round. I've already spooked a carp in there. I'm sure it'll be back. So there is a few in there at the moment. There might end up being more later, so at the moment I'm not going to bother casting in because I think I could just end up spooking them. But I'm going to give it a little while, and what I've done instead is I've just put some bait in. So I've decided to put bait in on the areas I'm going to be fishing for the next 2 nights. One is on a tree line, like I said, to the right hand side. The other one is towards an island. I've decided to come about 2 foot back because it is quite shallow, so I've just spread my boilies around that area. And the other one is to my right. There's a big hanging tree, and so far I've caught my biggest carp from this lake on that tree, well, pretty much underneath it really. I got really close and it went off. Like, I think I had 2 takes on it in the end, my last session in this swim, but managed to land only 1. But yeah, it does do big carp, and that's the reason I've decided to bait that up as well. Just with the same bait, I'm going to stick to the same hook baits and the same boilies. I'm probably going to put pink on both the trees, one on the tree line, one under the big tree that's hanging, and then on the island I'm going to put a yellow. And that's it really, and I'm just going to bait up and leave it for a couple of hours, maybe an hour or so, sort myself out. Then I'll sort my rigs out, my baits out, maybe get some fresh hook baits tied up, and then I'll get recast. Also, I might have a little look around and keep my eye out for seeing any carp as well, so that's the reason, one of the reasons why I'm not going to cast out straight away. I'm just going to leave it a little while, see what I can see, and then I'll eventually put the rigs in and hopefully I'll get a bite this afternoon. You never know. Well, nothing's happened, but you know, I wasn't really expecting to get a quick bite. It is a very difficult lake, this one. Pretty much if you do 2 or 3 nights, you're lucky if you get 1. So it's always tricky, it's always hard, but I do believe there is carp here, and I reckon there's a good chance of getting a bite maybe tomorrow morning. But sun is setting, it's getting dark soon, so maybe I'll get that bite by the morning. A bit of a kerfuffle this morning, really moving and, you know, getting annoyed and everything, but now I'm in this swim, I'm happy. This is a good lake with some big carp, so maybe I'll get lucky and get something by the morning. You never know. Well, things haven't really improved on the fishing front. Nothing at all. Pretty quiet, really. The only thing that happened was just as it went dark, I saw a carp jump out about 5 foot from my rig, just along the tree line on the right hand side, and that was it. I was expecting to get a bite last night. Nothing. You know, there's not much I can do. At some point or another I'm probably going to bring the rods in, refresh the hook baits and recast, but for now I'm just hoping something happens. The sun's meant to be out today as well, made another warm day, so they might come down into this area. They normally do. In the past they have done it in like first sort of week or two of spring. They've really have come down to this tree line onto the right. Maybe they might be down later or maybe tomorrow, but yeah, it's going to be a bit of a struggle. To be honest, it's not exactly a water where you can get multiple runs or anything. Like, it's not lots and lots of carp in here. Very low stock, but you know, some of them are really big. Yeah, so it is tricky, but you know, if I do get a take, it's probably going to be something really big, so I'm kind of waiting out for that. Got one more night to go, so maybe it will happen, maybe today, I don't know. The only thing that happened last night was my brother was fishing on the lake that I started on, but he decided to stay because there was actually carp swimming around on the surface in his area, and he kind of thought that he would stay and maybe something would happen. Obviously they were starting to warm themselves up. They were nowhere near where I was fishing anyway, to be honest. They were right in this little bay, and suddenly last night he managed to get 2 bites, which was really good. That lake can be also tricky as well. He had a 24 common and an 18 mirror as well, so that's pretty good. It wasn't where I was fishing, so I very doubt that I would have had them bites anyway myself. It'd just be nice to catch one more, as this is my last session here. Yeah, I'm not going to be fishing here anymore. I'm not going to renew or anything and keep going with it. I think I've decided that this is my last session. I may come back in a year or two's time, but for now I am just going to focus all my effort onto fishing day tickets, and I'm also fishing that members lake at Monk Lakes, focusing most of my effort on there. I've just been preparing for some more fishing next weekend, which I'm going to be doing a night on the harder venue at Monk Lakes, members lake obviously, and it's got some big carp in it, so I'm going to have my first session on there. I've been fishing the easier one recently, just so I can get a few bites. I've had some 20s out there now, so I'm happy enough that that's pretty much the biggest one I'm probably going to get out there. So I'm going to be moving on, and the other lake has got carp up to 40 pounds, so definitely going to get on there and start fishing those lakes. I'm just going to figure out how to fish it and how to catch those big carp in there. And then maybe once I've done with that, maybe I'll come back here and refish here. I mean, I pretty much know this lake off by heart. I know every single swim, I know every single little detail on the bottom. I know what baits work, what time of year they work, and what swims are the best swims, and you know, the time of year and everything, but I never really got round to catching any of the big carp. I caught plenty of fish over here in the last couple of years, but mostly small ones, apart from that 28 that I had in this swim, my last session when I fished this swim, but never getting around to catching those big ones. Oh no, but it doesn't really matter too much. I had really good fun here. I've had a really good session, some terrible sessions where I've blanked non-stop and I caught bream. We won't talk about those ones, but the one that I'm focusing on is this session at the moment, so you know, I'm going to put all my effort in today to try and catch something. I'm going to leave it a little while, and then I'm going to make some changes and refresh the hook baits. Maybe I might put some more bait in. I'm going to wait it out for a big carp, and hopefully I catch something, and hopefully soon, because I really need something now. It's 2 nights in and not much to show for it, so hopefully I'll catch something today or maybe tomorrow morning. Nothing's really happened today. It's been pretty warm, not much going on really. Got to about 11 o'clock and I decided to bring the rods in. I went for a little walk, couldn't really see anything. My brother was packing away, so I was saying goodbye to him and helping with his stuff, and then came back to the swim, refreshed all the hook baits, got them back on the spot lovely. They were perfectly on the spot and nothing's happened. It's been really quiet, and then suddenly out of nowhere I saw a little carp jump on the island, and I've also seen a carp roll just behind where my rig is on the right hand side where the tree line is. Literally right underneath the tree line it rolled. So there definitely is carp in there. There's definitely carp in the area. It's really nice and warm and the sun's been beaming down here all afternoon. I can't believe I haven't had one. It's been really challenging this session. I had my problems. I'm just hoping that something happens. Just now I just put in a couple of handfuls of boilies over each rod just to make sure there's some fresh ones in the swim. The other baits have been sitting there for quite a while. I'm sure they haven't been eaten, but I just put in a few just to make sure there's flavour and scent around the hook baits. Really, that's really what I've done. So yeah, I've got a couple of hours until it gets dark. Sun is setting. Maybe I'll get a take this evening, but it's probably more likely to be tomorrow morning, because I think that's going to be my best chance of getting a bite. I haven't got too long in the morning as well. I've got up to about 10 o'clock, so you know, hopefully I'll get a bite by then, and hopefully it's something decent, because hopefully I'll make it all worth it. Yeah, we'll see anyway. Looks like there might be a blank on the cards if not, but I've tried, I've put effort in, I've moved, I've kept my eye on the water as well, constantly trying to spot carp. I thought they might get in the tree line. I haven't really seen that many in there, to be honest. I spooked one yesterday and I saw one jump in the evening yesterday, and I saw one roll today, so they're definitely in here. They're just not feeding for some reason. Maybe they're just not on it yet. Maybe they're just sort of sunning themselves up. Maybe they're warming themselves up a bit more. I don't know, but yeah, hopefully I'll have a bite by the morning. If not, then at least I tried. Well, all the effort that I've been putting in over the session, all the problems I've had, it finally paid off. 8 o'clock last night I managed to get a bite. I ran out and picked it up, and as soon as I picked it up I kind of knew that something was wrong. I couldn't really feel the fish, and I realised that it had gone straight into the snags and I just couldn't get it out at all. No matter how much pressure or how many angles I tried to try and get it out, it just wouldn't come out. It properly got in there. And absolutely gutted, really. This is my last session here, and I've ended up having a blank, and pretty much that's it, really. Obviously I did get a carp on, but you know, all the effort, all the time I spent, and oh no, I can't believe it, I lost it. But oh well, doesn't matter too much. I'm sure I'll be back in the future. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.